Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 6 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Boston Celtics and Charlotte Hornets. As the Charlotte Hornets get set to host the Boston Celtics, we're looking at an Eastern Conference clash that's sure to bring some fireworks. Charlotte's start to the season has been a bit of a roller coaster, while Boston is cruising on a solid early stretch, only recently stumbling against the Indiana Pacers. Tonight, both teams will look to set the tone, but here's how I see things shaking out. Charlotte's split record of 2 wins and 2 losses hints at a team still finding its groove. Wins over the Rockets and Raptors showed flashes of their potential. Yet losses to the Hawks and Heat exposed some defensive gaps that they'll need to tighten up. LaMelo Ball has been a key factor, driving a high-energy offense when he's on the floor. Ball's contributions, combined with Brandon Miller's play and the return of Miles Bridges, give Charlotte some serious offensive power. The Hornets sit 5th in scoring, a testament to their ability to run up the scoreboard with efficiency, particularly from beyond the arc. However, their defensive struggles remain a major weakness, landing them near the bottom of the league in defensive stats. Charlotte's rebounding game is intriguing. They're bulldozing on the offensive boards, leading the league in second-chance points, but their defensive rebounding lags far behind. Against a team like Boston, they'll need to control the boards and limit those extra chances if they want to keep things close. Boston, on the other hand, started strong with 4 straight wins before a tough overtime loss to Indiana. That game saw Boston almost claw back from a 19-point deficit, showcasing their grit and resilience, spearheaded by Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Even on an off-shooting night, the Celtics managed to stay competitive, thanks to key role players like Peyton Pritchard and Derek White, who stepped up. Their offense ranks among the league's best, fueled by strong three-point shooting and isolation play. However, Boston's defense has shown some early-season rust, especially in that Indiana game, allowing 135 points and slipping in opponent field goal percentage. This matchup will be all about style contrast. Boston's sharpshooting and veteran experience against Charlotte's youthful energy and offensive rebounding edge. Charlotte's relentless pursuit of offensive boards could give Boston headaches if the Celtics don't lock down the glass. Boston's three-point efficiency is another key factor, as they're knocking down over 40% from deep. If Charlotte's three-point defense holds, we could be in for a closer game than many expect. My pick? I'm leaning towards Charlotte to cover the 11.5 points. Boston's talent likely gets them the win, but Charlotte's offensive resilience should keep them within reach, especially in front of their home crowd. The Hornets' ability to score and control offensive boards makes them a tricky underdog, and I wouldn't be surprised to see both teams top the total score. This game should be a high-energy, high-scoring contest, with Boston favored, but Charlotte more than capable of keeping it interesting. The second prediction for today is for a game between the Orlando Magic and Cleveland Cavaliers. As the Cleveland Cavaliers and Orlando Magic face off, we're looking at a matchup that promises grit and fire on both ends. The Cavs have roared out to a perfect 5-0 start, fueled by a powerhouse offense and a relentless defense that's earning them a spot among the league's elite early in the season. Meanwhile, the Magic have been a mixed bag at 3-2, showing flashes of resilience but grappling with consistency issues, especially on the road. This clash brings together two teams that pride themselves on defensive intensity, setting the stage for a potentially tight, low-scoring game. Cleveland's rise this season has been nothing short of impressive. With their latest victory, a dominant 134-110 statement against the Lakers, the Cavaliers have demonstrated not only their scoring depth, but their knack for dictating tempo and stifling opponents. Behind an elite offensive rating of 124.4, they're sinking shots from all over, boasting a remarkable 41.1% from three-point land and converting nearly 63% of their two-point attempts. With Donovan Mitchell leading the charge and Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen locking down the paint, the Cavs are firing on all cylinders. Add in the recent return of Max Strus, and Cleveland's offensive arsenal just keeps getting stronger. Orlando, however, has had its share of ups and downs. Despite a valiant 50-point performance from Paolo Banchero in a win over Indiana, their recent loss to Chicago highlighted some glaring weaknesses, especially in their three-point shooting. The Magic are only hitting around 24% from deep, and without a reliable long-range shooter, their offense can falter in tight spots. While Jalen Suggs and Franz Wagner are stepping up with solid scoring, Orlando's lack of consistency from beyond the arc is a persistent hurdle. Defensively, both teams have something to brag about, ranking in the top 5 in defensive efficiency. The Cavs excel at controlling the pace, while the Magic's scrappy defense helps them stay in games. Orlando's path to success lies in winning the battle on the boards and creating second-chance points in the paint. They'll need every ounce of that defensive toughness to contain Cleveland's high-octane attack. In my view, Cleveland's perfect start and home court advantage make them the favorites, but don't count on a blowout. Orlando's defense has enough grit to keep this close, pushing the Cavs to work for every point. Given the defensive chops on both sides, I'm expecting a slower-paced game with fewer total points. My pick? Cleveland edges it out for a 6th win, but I'm backing the total points to stay under 218 and Orlando to cover the 9-point spread. For this game, the smart bet looks to be on the under. The third prediction for today is for a game between the New York Knicks and Detroit Pistons. The New York Knicks are set to face the Detroit Pistons, and both teams are eager to make a statement early in the season. The Knicks are coming off a solid 9-point victory against the Miami Heat, showcasing their ability to compete with top-tier teams on the road. This win was a strong rebound from a previous home loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers, indicating that the Knicks are finding their rhythm despite recent roster changes. Offensively, the Knicks have been efficient, shooting 50% from the field and over 40% from the free throw line. Even with the departure of veteran forward Julius Randle and the absence of key players like Mitchell Robinson due to injury, the team has maintained its scoring prowess. Karl Anthony Towns is currently listed as questionable with a left wrist sprain, but the Knicks have demonstrated depth in their lineup. On the other hand, the Detroit Pistons are showing resilience. They recently secured a notable victory over the Philadelphia 76ers, signaling their intent to compete seriously this season. Defensively, the Pistons have improved, ranking in the league's top half in opponent field goal and three-point percentage allowed. While not yet elite, these defensive strides are crucial for a young team aiming to build confidence and establish its identity. Both teams have faced challenging schedules, including matchups against playoff-caliber teams like the Celtics, Heat, and Cavaliers. The Pistons have covered the spread in 3 of their last 5 games, indicating a growing competitiveness. For a young squad like Detroit, consistently covering the spread is a positive sign, even if it doesn't always translate to wins. It's a step toward developing a culture of staying competitive throughout the game. A key aspect to watch in this matchup is rebounding. The Pistons have been effective on the defensive boards, limiting opponents' second-chance opportunities. This focus on rebounding could be pivotal against a Knicks team that hasn't dominated the offensive glass. If Detroit can control the boards, they can disrupt New York's offensive flow and create fast break opportunities, keeping the game competitive even if their shooting isn't at its best. Offensively, the Pistons are making progress, shooting over 44% from the field and ranking 12th in the league with a 36.5% three-point shooting percentage. While not top tier, these numbers reflect a positive trajectory for a team that has struggled with shooting consistency in the past. This improvement indicates a disciplined approach that could benefit them as they aim to establish themselves as serious contenders. The Knicks' defense has shown some vulnerabilities, but has been effective in limiting second-chance points by securing defensive rebounds. This could be advantageous against the Pistons, who rely on getting to the rim for scoring. If the Knicks can prevent Detroit from getting extra looks and force them into contested jump shots, they'll have a better chance of controlling the game's tempo. While the odds may favor the Knicks, the Pistons' recent form against the spread suggests they shouldn't be overlooked. Detroit's defense and rebounding could help them keep this game close, especially if they can limit New York's offensive rebounds and turn defensive stops into transition points. Although the Knicks are the more polished team, the Pistons are scrappy and motivated, and they've been keeping their games close against strong opponents. A 6.5-point spread leaves room for Detroit to cover, even if the Knicks end up taking the win. Given Detroit's recent successes in covering spreads and the Knicks' tendency to manage the game pace, this matchup has all the ingredients for a closer contest than the line might suggest. The Knicks are undoubtedly the favorites and should be able to hold their ground. but Detroit's competitive edge and rebounding abilities might just allow them to hang around. This game could come down to late-game execution, and while New York has the upper hand in experience, the Pistons' hunger and defensive improvements make them a tough opponent to dismiss. In the end, while the Knicks should control the game overall, expect the Pistons to keep it within reach. They're not yet at the Knicks level, but they're building the habits of a competitive team, and if they can stay disciplined, they're well positioned to cover the spread in what should be an entertaining, hard-fought game.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The fourth prediction for today is for a game between the Los Angeles Lakers and Toronto Raptors. As the Lakers head north to face the Raptors at Scotiabank Arena, I can feel the buzz of an intriguing clash between two teams, each looking to rebound from recent challenges. Toronto, stumbling out of the gate with a 1-4 record, is hungry for a win to uplift their fans, while the Lakers are eager to shake off some road struggles and find their early season rhythm. Toronto's season so far feels like a roller coaster, showcasing moments of grit, but also failing to finish strong. Their lone victory came against the Sixers, but they've since fallen short in tight matchups against solid squads like Cleveland and Denver. Their latest outing saw them narrowly edged by Charlotte in a 138-133 thriller. They've had their chances, but just can't seem to seal the deal when it matters. Despite the losses, this Raptors team shows no lack of fight. They gave Jokic and the Nuggets a scare, pushing the game to overtime, only to lose by a mere 2 points. Given their injury list, Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickley, and Kelly Olynyk have missed time. It's been up to guys like RJ Barrett and rookie Grady Dick to keep the wheels turning. Meanwhile, the Lakers opened strong, notching 3 straight wins at home, but stumbled once they hit the road. They lost a nail-biter to Phoenix, and then got handled by Cleveland, conceding a hefty 134 points. This road inconsistency is a familiar theme for LA, and they've had one of the league's lowest success rates against the spread in these situations over the past season. The Lakers do have a slight advantage in the health department, with LeBron and Davis ready to roll, but their defense needs tightening, especially against a Raptors squad that ranks high in offensive rebounds. If LA wants to prevent Toronto from grabbing easy second-chance points, they'll need to box out like their season depends on it. LeBron's history against the Raptors is legendary, often stepping up in Toronto, and this game could be another chapter. Despite Toronto's defensive struggles, they're allowing a staggering 119.2 points per 100 possessions. They'll need to find a way to contain the Lakers' fast breaks and make life tough for LeBron and crew. Toronto's biggest edge comes from their relentless work on the glass. Leading the league in offensive rebounds, they keep themselves in games even when their shooting is cold. For the Lakers, limiting these second-chance opportunities will be crucial if they want to steer this game in their favor. But with both teams' defensive inconsistencies, it could come down to which squad stays focused for the full 48 minutes. Depth will be key too. While both teams are short-handed, the Lakers are leaning on Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura, who have shown they can make an impact, but they'll need to bring it defensively too. On Toronto's side, Grady Dick and veterans like RJ Barrett are stepping up to fill scoring gaps, especially with the uncertainty surrounding Scotty Barnes' availability. Both teams have shown contrasting trends against the spread. Toronto has covered in 4 straight games, despite their losing record, while the Lakers have managed to cover only once in their last 5 games as road favorites. The Raptors might not be piling up wins, but they're keeping it close, especially at home. All signs point to a high-scoring showdown. Raptors' home games have consistently hit the over, and their recent meetings with the Lakers tend to be shootouts, averaging over 230 points. Both teams have struggled defensively, with Toronto ranking last in opponent points per game, and the Lakers close behind. This could be a thrilling offensive showcase with points coming in bunches. In the end, I'm leaning toward taking the Raptors with the points. The Lakers may have the star power, but their road record doesn't inspire much confidence. Toronto's ability to hang tough, especially with the support of the home crowd, could make this a tighter game than expected. If you're betting on the total, the over looks promising given both teams' defensive woes. With the stakes high and both teams eager for a turnaround, this should be an action-packed clash. The fifth prediction for today is for a game between the Denver Nuggets and Minnesota Timberwolves. As the Denver Nuggets and Minnesota Timberwolves gear up for this early season clash, each team faces its own challenges, with records locked at 2-2. The Timberwolves, fresh off a close 120-114 home loss to the Dallas Mavericks, have shown a mix of strong performances and occasional lapses. Meanwhile, Denver's recent nail-biting overtime win over Brooklyn raised some eyebrows, especially as the Nuggets haven't looked as commanding as they usually do on the road. Denver's start this season hasn't been as powerful as one might expect from a team known for defending home turf with intensity. Losses to the Clippers and Thunder on their court suggest that the Nuggets are still finding their rhythm. Their narrow victories, over Brooklyn and Toronto by a combined 7 points, show a team walking a fine line. Although their impressive assist-to-turnover ratio speaks to disciplined play, the scoring load continues to fall heavily on Nikola Jokic. While Jokic, the three-time MVP, can handle it, the team's lack of scoring depth raises concerns about their stamina over the long haul. There's added spice here, as Denver looks to settle the score after last year's 7-game playoff exit against the Timberwolves. Minnesota closed that series in dominating fashion, sending Denver home with a resounding 45-point win in the final game. Revenge could fuel the Nuggets, but their consistency will be the true test. On the other side, the Timberwolves have also had a rocky start, but show promise, especially defensively. With competitive performances against tough teams like Sacramento and a win over Dallas, Minnesota has demonstrated a knack for limiting opponents' scoring in the paint and forcing turnovers. This defensive strength could spell trouble for a Denver team heavily leaning on Jokic's scoring and playmaking. However, Minnesota's role as a home favorite brings its own baggage. Known for being unpredictable, the Timberwolves struggled last season to cover the spread as home favorites, only managing a disappointing 37.8% cover rate. This track record might make some bettors wary of fully backing the Wolves when the odds are in their favor. For me, this game hinges on two critical factors: Minnesota's defense and whether Denver can produce points from sources beyond Jokic. The Timberwolves' defensive discipline could be decisive, particularly if they clamp down on Jokic's passing lanes and disrupt Denver's offensive flow. Given both teams' mixed form, there's a good chance we see a gritty, low-scoring affair that keeps fans on edge. I'm leaning towards the Timberwolves in this one. They've been more consistent at home against Denver recently, taking 6 of their last 10 encounters on their turf. With Denver struggling to find reliable scoring options outside Jokic, Minnesota's defense and home advantage could be the difference. Look for a competitive game, but I believe the Timberwolves' defensive edge and slight roster depth should see them through in the end. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The sixth prediction for today is for a game between the Oklahoma City Thunder and Portland Trail Blazers. As the Portland Trail Blazers square off against the Oklahoma City Thunder, I'm expecting a showdown defined by defensive grit. The Blazers are adjusting to a new identity post-Damian Lillard, struggling to find consistent leadership and offensive rhythm under head coach Chauncey Billups. Their recent outings, like the tough 98-point showing against the Sacramento Kings, reveal a team still piecing things together on the scoring front. With DeAndre Ayton now the team's standout presence, Portland is banking on his contributions, but Ayton's recent play has raised questions about his ability to lead this team to wins. Right now, Portland's offense ranks near the bottom, averaging only 107 points per 100 possessions. The Blazers have also been plagued by turnovers and limited defensive intensity, managing a mid-tier standing in defensive metrics like field goal percentage allowed. But one area where they've shown resilience is on the boards. They currently rank 6th in offensive rebounds. This glass advantage could be their best shot at hanging with the Thunder, who sometimes falter in the paint. On the other side, Oklahoma City is quickly transforming into a Western Conference threat, led by the sensational Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, whose MVP-level performances are driving the Thunder to a potential top playoff spot. This team is built on defense, holding opponents to an impressive sub-95 points per game. Their recent fourth-quarter blitz against the Atlanta Hawks, outscoring them 39-18, highlighted just how suffocating their defense can be. With defensive stalwarts like Lou Dort and newcomer Alex Caruso on the perimeter, Oklahoma City has held opponents to a league-low 27.8% from beyond the arc. Offensively, the Thunder may not be a powerhouse, sitting at 18th in shooting efficiency and 27th from deep. Instead, they rely on a grinded-out style, controlling games through tenacious defense. As these two teams meet, I can't see it being a high-scoring affair. Portland's inefficient offense colliding with the Thunder's elite defense screams a low-scoring game, which makes the under 223.5 quite appealing. With Oklahoma City's history of unders hitting in 9 of their last 12 and Portland in 9 of their last 13, the trends strongly suggest a defensive struggle. In the end, I believe Oklahoma City's suffocating defense, led by Gilgeous-Alexander and Caruso, will keep Portland's offense locked down. Even with an edge on the boards, the Blazers may find it hard to generate enough scoring opportunities to break through. I'm confident that the total points will stay under 223.5, as this matchup looks set for a defensive grind.